Did you know that the term parental alienation may not be the best thing to use in court or in trying to describe what's going on in your situation to teachers, schools, organizations, even therapists? Hey, this is Ryan Thomas, a former child of parental alienation who discovered the truth and reconnected. And this is a really polarizing topic because parental alienation as a term, as a word to identify, yes, this is what I'm going through. That is a wonderful application for using the term parental alienation when there's this collection of things that have happened to you, changes and shifts and poisoning of your child and the relationship that you have with your child, and then suddenly realizing what is happening, why is this going on? And then all of a sudden realizing, oh my gosh, it's a thing, it's a label, it's called parental alienation. That is so powerful because it makes you feel like you're not alone, you're not crazy. This is something that other people are dealing with. And wow, talk about a light bulb moment. This has a name. This is a real thing that I'm dealing with. This is actually happening. But here's where the term parental alienation doesn't work. When you make it all about the label of parental alienation in court or in therapy or in talking to other professionals, and again, this is not legal advice, I'm not a lawyer, what I see from a communication side is that then it all becomes about identifying, well, what is parental alienation? Does it meet the threshold of this unclear definition of parental alienation? Who gets to decide whether this is parental alienation, whether this meets your criteria, reaches a threshold? So everything begins and revolves around this idea of proving parental alienation. And when that happens, when anybody starts to try to decide whether we can prove it or not, you know that you are on a path to losing. Now, bear with me. Listen to what I'm trying to say. If you remove this label of parental alienation, which drags you into this whole other conversation, and by the way, when other people who are not professionals but are just trying to help, all of a sudden hear something like parental alienation, they go, I really don't know anything about it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a lawyer. I bet I just can't really talk about this. It is instantly a detractor. It repels conversation when it's a term. But if we can remove that label and talk about the symptoms, talk about what parental alienation actually is without using it, any sane person, loving person, any person with logic, anybody who knows about the well-being of a child, anybody who knows about who should a child be put in the care and the leadership and the influence of, knows that somebody who exhibits parental alienation behaviors, these types of behaviors, is not a person that a child should be influenced by. So let's make this real. And I want to show you how to talk about parental alienation without saying parental alienation. And I see the irony as we're doing this exercise. So if you walk up to a person, a teacher, a coach, even a legal person, a court system, and you say, this is parental alienation. I am a victim of parental alienation. Half of the people say, I'm not really sure what that is, but good luck with that. The legal side says, show your proof. What's the definition? What's the threshold? Does this meet the threshold? We're not even talking about the behaviors. We're not even talking about the experiences of what's going on. It becomes about the word. Now, if you walk up to somebody and you say, wow, my child's really gone through a difficult divorce. It has not been easy for them. And through that, unfortunately, they were made to feel as though they had to pick sides. There was one good parent and one bad parent. And unfortunately, I was perceived as the bad parent. There was a lot of things that were constantly said about me that the child shouldn't have heard. some that were true, some that were lies, some that were completely made up stories, all to make the child feel as though they had to choose. I was the bad parent, the other parent was a good parent, and therefore the child was under this huge pressure to reject me. And everything I said and everything I did was told to that child through the lens of, look how bad I am, look how bad she is, look how bad he is, look at what he said, look at what he did. And this became so upsetting for the child. They didn't know what to believe. They want to love both parents. I want them to love both parents, but they can't. They feel as though they absolutely can only love one parent. And this caused all kinds of stress and anxiety. You perhaps have seen it, or here's some court records, or here's some records. The behavioral changes. They're depressed, they're sad, they've sunken in, they're not communicating, or they're wildly behavioral issues. They're lashing out, they're angry, they're fighting, they're not doing well in school. Unfortunately, this is all a result of feeling this crushing pressure that not only did the divorce happen, but that they can't still have two parents that live separately in two different places. Now, this one whole side of their life has gone away. They can never go back to the house. They can never visit me, the parent. They can never see grandma and grandpa and aunt and uncle and all their cousins. Our entire side of the family is no longer available to them. Gone. It's like a living death. I want to do everything I can to show my child that they have a loving parent, that they can love both parents. They can love both parents, and they can be loved by both parents. They never have to choose. Unfortunately, repeatedly, in all of these documented attempts, here is where that story that they have to choose, that they have a good parent and a bad parent, has been used against me, but most importantly, used against my child to create such stress and anxiety and such a conflict that they don't know what to do. They're a little child. They're 7 years old. They're 10 years old. They're 15 years old. They're a teenager. They're in a vulnerable spot. They're under pressure. They don't know who to side with. They're being told to say these things because they have to, because the story of what I've done and how bad I am has justified them going against what they actually want to say. They have been turned against me and poisoned against me, and I want to do everything I can to not only restore my relationship, but also to make sure that the other parent and I have a healthy communication for the child to know that they can love both parents and that both parents love them. Everything else we can work out. You see how different that is. You see how different that feels. We're not arguing about the threshold of how many times or what exactly was said. It's reacting to, or it's trying to engage with the reasonable side, the logical side, the compassionate side that anybody can go, yeah, that doesn't sound like a good situation. That's not healthy for anybody. Let me see what I can do to help. That is why the term parental alienation can be damaging to your situation, even though it helped you identify the problem and then ultimately the solutions that may be available. Now, speaking of solutions, if you are a parent that is alienated, that is going through this, and you want help, you want guidance on how to communicate, what to say, what not to say, what to do, and also how to emotionally get through all of this, you can click the link below this video with information on that. So thanks so much. I'm Ryan Thomas, and we'll see you on another video. Hey, it's Ryan Thomas. Thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and it also helps to spread the word. Be sure to watch other videos from this channel, and also check below this video for other resources and links to help.